Yes, good afternoon. I have to say, when I gave my paper last year, apparently it made some people's heads hurt, so I'm hoping I won't have this reaction this time round. And when I did present that paper on the history of the First World War commemoration in Ambridge, I mentioned in my talk that I was having some difficulty in locating the Ambridge War Memorial. With the efficiency for which the Academic Archives Research Associates are known for, Laurie MacLeod almost immediately tweeted me with a link to English Heritage's, now Historic England's, pamphlet on recording and listing war memorials, which includes in their guide the description of the Ambridge War Memorial. And this reads as follows. The memorial, as set on a grassed area, consists of a York stone obelisk with a total height of 2.3 metres, set on a square base and pedestal. The northern face on the obelisk has a wreath in high relief, and below is the inscription, which reads, "Erected to the glory of God and in honour of the men of Ambridge who served their king and country in the Great War 1914 to 1918, in memoriam." Below are the names of the 3 men who died with their rank, regiment or ship. Beneath this is the inscription, "Lest we forget." The eastern side lists those who were wounded or taken prisoner, and the western face those who also served. Now, this is a very unusual feature of a war memorial. The southern face has the inscription, "Also in grateful remembrance of all from this parish who served in the Second World War, 1939 to 1945, followed by the names. The memorial is surrounded by chains linking 4 timber posts. Now, this is the Hookham War Memorial. I couldn't find an image of the Ambridge War Memorial. And as someone has already asked me today, have the chains been stolen by metal thieves? Yeah. I think the answer is yes.
Harbins!
The leaflet goes on to note that the memorial, which was unveiled on the 16th of May 1921 by Sir Robert Pargeter, is located on land on the south side of Main Street, originally donated to the parish by Miss Adeline Smith of the Manor. Now, based on this information and referring to the Archer's Attic's official map of Ambridge, I believe the memorial to be located where you see the red circle. Now, there's a possibility, based on where I believe Main Street is, that it could be at the other end of the green, up by the pond, but I think that it's more likely to be outside the town hall, the village hall, excuse me, and then could have a procession from the memorial to St. Stephen's on Armistice Day or Remembrance Sunday. Now, as a historian of the First World War and memory, the description of the memorial raises a number of interesting questions for me. If Rupert Pargeter's is one of the 3 names of the dead listed, I presume, whose are the other 2 of the men of Ambridge? Which regiment, or indeed ship seems slightly odd for this part of the country, did they serve on? And if it was a ship, why were they in the Navy? Who's the names of those who were wounded, taken prisoner, or who also served? As I said, this is very unusual and provides an opportunity for finding out a lot more about war service in Ambridge than most memorials do. And what is their memory and the legacy for the village today? So to answer these questions, I would like to make a modest proposal to the entire Academic Archives community. I would like to invite you to join me in researching and creating a virtual Ambridge War Memorial as part of the wider national network of such community-based research projects which has arisen as part of the centenary of the First World War in this country. This project would involve the following steps. Firstly, interested members of the Academic Archives community should contact me, and I will be around later and I can put my contact details on the Facebook page. To become part of a virtual war memorial committee. With the permission of the Academic Archives founders, we will form a supplementary Facebook page for community gatherings, discussions, and meetings. The community will then apply to the Heritage Lottery Fund. I'm serious, I've actually looked into this. They would welcome the proposal. First World War then a now scheme for financial support. Funding will pay for a web domain for the virtual memorial, for expert training in family history research and events, which might include talks from First World War historians. I've had interest from Dr. Dan Todman and Professor Jonathan Boff, and archivists from the National Archive. Again, I've spoken to some, there is interest. Using this training, the community members will research the relevant surnames in the databases collated by the Lives of the First World War project. There are 2,959 archers, 121 pargeters, and 1,186 grundies listed on this quote, digital memorial. That was as far as I got with my very quick research into names, knowing the time limits on this talk. We would draw on the wider community expertise to identify other relevant surnames that would have existed in the village circa 1914 to 1918. I'm a very new member. I've only been listening for about 15 years, so I would rely on more experienced academic archers listeners. And as part of this process, the committee members would be encouraged to add the details that they uncover to the Lives of the First World War project in the process that is described as remembering the actual individuals who existed. The committee members would also be invited to use their research to contribute to a digital Ambridge War Memorial. I've created a prototype page here. It's not really live yet, but it could be developed. In addition to speculative biographies of named individuals, contributions could include any form of imaginative engagement with the research material, artwork, films, songs, poetry, other forms of commemoration. If anybody's been following First World, the 1418 Now project funded by the Arts Council, you'll know there's a lot of artistic responses to the memory and commemoration of the First World War across the country. I'd like to make this part of that. There would also potentially be scope for committee members to reflect on the research process and the relationship between creative and commemorative practices they experience, which would be fabulous data for those of us who work on the legacy and memory of the First World War in this country. As well as producing what I hope will be an important complement to the academic outputs already produced by this community, such as custard, culvert and cakes for sale outside, this project would, I believe, have other collaborative benefits. It would, for example, serve potentially as case studies for colleagues exploring the sociology of digital communities, or those such as Jerome Turner, whose essay in Custard, Culverts and Cakes examines creativity as community practice on social media. This could be another case study. Ideally, the project would also offer the BBC scope for development of future storylines, fleshing out the history of Ambridge's history through the historically based characters that the memorial will commemorate. Above all, the project is intended to provide committee members with new skills, ideas, and creative outlets. I hope you will be inspired to enjoy me in this endeavour. Thank you very much.